Hello and welcome to this video for EkhartYoga. My name is David and the title of today's talk is Beyond the Pill. So what I'm going to explore in this talk is a phenomenon that we see a lot in the world of today's yoga, which is where we get caught or entangled in a pattern of using yoga as some sort of pill to mitigate either the stresses or some sort of disease that comes from our modern life. So I'm going to explore this idea and different manifestations of how we use yoga as a pill, and then look at, okay, how can we move beyond that? So I want to emphasize up front that there's absolutely nothing wrong with using yoga as a pill. It's something I've certainly done in the past, in my journey in yoga. However, it's this idea of getting stuck in this pattern that I want to explore and look at, okay, how can we move beyond that? So a lot of people come to yoga, and I certainly came to yoga. This was really my reason for starting yoga, was stress, a lot of stress in my life. So the first manifestation of yoga as a pill is this very concentrated little pill here of using yoga to basically mitigate the impact of stress on our life, using it to de-stress. And if you've practiced yoga for a while, you'll know it works. The pill works, yeah? So we practice yoga, we come back into our bodies, we let go of whatever's going in our head, we feel the benefits. So this is the very first sort of level, or the innermost, most powerful, most immediate effect of yoga as a pill. Slightly larger, so it encapsulates stress, but it also encapsulates other things, is the idea of yoga for wellness. So using yoga as a tool to mitigate any sort of discomfort, dis-ease that we have going on in our lives, in our bodies. You know, could be some sort of back pain, shoulder pain, whatever it is. And again, what we'll notice is that yoga is good at this. It works. Yeah. So again, it's a pill that works. Again, around that and larger again is the idea of yoga needing to be functional in some way. So movement being functional, yoga being functional. And this could be, again, when we're moving beyond stress, moving beyond a specific dis-ease or discomfort, and looking about, for example, very specifically expanding a range of movement or growing strength in a certain part of our body. Again, all good reasons for practicing yoga. Yoga is a pill in that sense that works for that as well. So these are the different types of manifestations of this idea of yoga as a pill. And like I said at the beginning, nothing wrong with it. You know, I certainly use yoga as a pill in that way when I started yoga, and, you know, down through the years in various forms. However, what I want to sort of put down or explore is this idea that if this is so we've got our three circles, you know, stress, wellness, functional yoga. The idea I want to put forward is that the magic of yoga happens once we move outside of that circle, that we move outside of that circle. So it's like, you know, when we're a kid and we're given, you know, sort of a bit of paper to color on, you know, and we got a few coloring pens, and, you know, we're told, okay, you know, color within the circles. And the kid, you know, or we as children, you know, start drawing all over the table. Because that's where, you know, that's where expression happens. So the magic of yoga happens outside of using yoga for a specific use. The magic of yoga happens outside using it for a specific use. So it happens in the space outside the circles. So this is the space where we can allow authentic expression to occur and explore that authentic expression. And through this authentic expression, we can move to a place of wholeness that is much deeper than what we get from purely using yoga as, a pill for stress, for wellness, or for functionality. And this place of wholeness, so this place of wholeness outside these sort of 3 concentric circles of the pill, is a wholeness that is exquisitely subtle in each moment, and it's deeply profound over time. So then the question becomes, how do we move into that space? How do we move into that space? How do we move beyond the pill? And what I've noticed over the years, both in myself and with friends and with students, is that the most common driver for, holding on to yoga as a pill is that we get wedded to our motivation for practice. We cling to our motivation for practice, which implies that to move beyond the pill, all we have to do is let go of our motivation for practice. So let go of our motivation for practice. So to be very clear, what I'm not saying is, get rid of any reasons for practicing yoga. We all have our reasons for practicing yoga. They're all good reasons. When it comes to yoga, there's no hierarchy of reasons. Your reason for practicing yoga is the best reason there is for you, because you own your reason. What I'm saying is that at the moment that we roll out the mat and practice, that at that moment we immerse ourselves in the practice, we immerse ourselves in the now, and we put to a side whatever our reason is for practicing, whether it be letting go of stress, whether it be building strength, flexibility, range of motion, whatever it is, put that to one side, focus on the practice. So very practically, how do we do that? Well, in terms of our doing, our action on the mat, we bring in an attitude of we're practicing for the sake of practice, without any care for where that practice takes us, without any care whether we achieve the results we want to achieve. There's an attitude, so that's our attitude of doing. There's an attitude of, in our mind, of observing, of really one of open curiosity. So we're not closing in the mind to get somewhere. We're opening up the mind to what's going on right now. What's happening in my body? How can I explore this? How can I express this in my body? And then there's an attitude of heart, which is not one of desire for a specific result, but much more one of opening and accepting whatever our practice brings. So, just to wrap up and to recap, one of the big things I see in the modern yoga world is we use yoga as a pill. I've done it. My students do it. My friends do it. We all do it, probably, to some extent or other. Nothing wrong with that, because the pill works. However, the magic of yoga, by which I mean deep healing, deep reconnection, happens in the space outside of that pill. That's where the space is for genuine transformation, deep healing. To move into that space, all we have to do is let go of our motivation for practice when we roll out our mat. To let go of our motivation when we roll out our mat. So our motivations are good. They're what take us to the mat. Once we get there, let go of them. So that is it for this talk. As always, please leave any comments, any questions. Always good to read your thoughts. And I hope to see you next time. Jai Ganesh.